Hi guys. So I spent my entire Saturday watching my comfort guilty show, my guilty pleasure show, and brain rot memes in my bed. But I also rewatched a masterpiece, Nightcrawler. Before I start the video, I just want to say Jake Gyllenhaal never fails to impress me. I mean, who is he? How is he such a good actor? Like, the versatility of the characters that he plays. I have watched almost every single movie he has starred in, and that man does not fail to impress me. He deserves far more credit than he gets. Now that I've gotten that out of my system, I want to talk about psychopathy in cinema, especially in context of Nightcrawler in this video. So let's get into that. I just love how they communicate psychopathy. Now, psychopathy is something I'll use throughout the video, even though it's not really a DSM-5 diagnosis. It's just for the sake of simplicity. So the way they communicate to us that this character is a psychopath without actually telling us that he's a psychopath is something I always love about cinema. Like, for example, I started watching The Boys, and the stare, the psychopathic stare, you can see it in the actor's eyes, the way they portray it. Homelander, he has really mastered that psychopathic stare. Or if you want to talk about Penn Badgley in You, he has that sociopathic stare that is just phenomenal. And even Jake Gyllenhaal does a really good job with that. But apart from that, the little subtleties that tell us that this character is not right in the head, I want to talk about them too. So I want to start with the very first scene of the film when Lou says, I was watering my plant, when he's being investigated, when he's being interrogated by the detective. Why does he say that? Because in Lou's head, watering his plant is something a normal person would do. Now, I found this strange because after he says this, the entire dialogue sequence has nothing to do with anything else that was normal. It almost feels like he didn't even have to mention that, because it was just events leading up to the shooting after I was watering my plant. So it seemed strange. It almost seemed deliberate in the sense that he's trying to make himself look like a regular person. That is the reason he said that. So another scene that really stood out to me was when Lou was applying to get a job, when he was talking to the manager, and he delivers his dialogue in this extremely robotic way, almost as if he was reading it. He wasn't speaking, it wasn't conversational, there were no pauses, no hesitation. It was as if he was just delivering something that he thinks he should be delivering. It didn't sound human. But what's even more peculiar was Lou's reaction to the rejection that followed. So the manager says, I'm not hiring a fucking thief. And Lou just goes and just walks out. He had no emotional reaction to it. Because why? That conversation was not useless for Lou. What did he take away from that? Lou decided that it's not like that he shouldn't be a thief in order to be a good employee. No, he should never hire a thief as an employer. And then we see that reflecting in when he interviews this other guy to work with him. So every conversation that Lou has, it's not about the other person. It's about him, what he can learn from it, what he can take away from it. It's almost like he is learning how to function as a normal human being by interacting with people. Each and every interaction, he takes away something from it. So when we actually watch the movie, we don't really hate Lou's character as much. And that has to do with the fact that people around him were also not really the most moral people. They were also depraved to some degree, though not as depraved as Lou was. But their depravity kind of makes it easier for us to accept Lou for his depravity. It's all relative, essentially. But they still had their limits. Lou did not have any limits. He was on a completely different level, in a completely different league. So we kind of hated him, but at the same time, we did not really hate him that much, because compared to everyone around him, he was also not all that different. Now, there is one thing that a lot of people have complained about in the movie, is the choice of music that they have. And initially, I agreed with that, because even I couldn't catch why they have such hopeful music in the background when there's clearly like nothing. It just did not go with the aesthetic of the movie. But then I heard someone say, I don't know if it was a video I watched or if I talked to someone, I honestly can't remember, but someone said that the music is not supposed to mirror what is actually happening from our lens or from the lens of other normal people. No. The entire movie is through Lou's perspective. So in Lou's head, everything that he's saying, his speeches and everything, that's hopeful, that's motivational. The things that he's doing and saying, we might think it's cringy, but it's not from his perspective. So since the movie is from his perspective, it is actually quite fitting that the music is hopeful or just does not go with the actual aesthetic and vibe of the film, which was hard to catch. And honestly, like, kudos to the team who actually came up with doing that, because wow, that was really cool. Actually, I never thought about it like that. So yeah, so far that is my analysis of the Nightcrawler. It's not much of an analysis, it's just me talking about a film that I really enjoyed. And again, kudos to Jake Gyllenhaal for doing such a phenomenal job on the movie. He was amazing. So
I don't believe anything you say. Man, this is fucked.
Do you know I've never once sworn in front of an employer?
I'm not doing it. I'm not getting out the car.
You're making a mistake.
I don't care about the fucking job title.
What if my problem wasn't that I don't understand people, but that I don't like them? What if I was obliged to hurt you for something like this? I mean, physically. I think you'd have to believe afterwards, if you could, that agreeing to participate and then backing out at the critical moment was a mistake. Because that's what I'm telling you. As clearly as I can.